Peace. Think fast. While I was on my walk, the thought of the movie Dreamcatcher came to mind. Matter of fact, or just the thought of thinking about how some people with autisms, special needs, Down syndrome, whatever the case may be, however you like to use the terminologies, but how some of these people in actuality and reality are kind of like, you know, like be real with your higher beings, and in most cases the reason why they seem like they're mentally retarded or whatever the case may be is because they're occupying more than one dimension at once, you know what I'm saying? They're high vibrational beings. The structure of, you know, how much of a high vibrational being they are may throw off the structure of their humanity, you know, of the bodysuit, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought about the movie Dreamcatcher, and they had like basically like an autistic guy on that movie, but basically he was really like an alien in disguise, and his friends knew that. Matter of fact, spoiler alert a little bit on it, but like his friends knew that he were, matter of fact, before I get into a spoiler alert, but his friends knew that he found out that he was an alien, matter of fact, because he had the power, I don't know if it's the power to heal, but it was some type of power that they saw. So they would all, you know, they end up being friends, whatever the case may be. But long story short, it made me think about how, you know, people with those autism, Down syndrome, how, you know what I'm saying, how they may be, and not say may be, but most of them are like, you know, high vibrational beings or beings that's not from this dimension, you know what I'm saying? Because matter of fact, that's why, like I say, some of them may come off as mentally slow or whatever, because they existing on, imagine existing on more than one dimension and trying to articulate yourself as a human, you know what I'm saying? That'd be very hard. Matter of fact, think about like if you ever tried DMT or mushrooms, for my people who done psychedelics, like if you're trying to talk and socialize with somebody when you're really, really in there, it's like almost close to impossible. And that's the situation with these beings, you know, it's like they exist on all dimensions. And another thing too is like, as a being from somewhere else, you don't care if the human society deem you as, you know, slow or retarded or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You're extraterrestrial, you're a being on the experience, you know what I'm saying? So you don't care about that egotistical, say for instance, that social structure of like, look at that, you know, or downing people with gifts like of that nature, downing people who slow or mentally ill, whatever the case may be. But a lot of those people, aside from humanity, aside from like how they may appear in this human form, they are very, you know what I'm saying, high vibrational beings of a higher intelligence. And matter of fact, when you think about God is not about being in your ego. And most slower people, you know, people with autisms or mentally ill people, whatever the case may be, and I say mentally ill, but you know, I'm trying to find little soft terminologies for it. But you know, most of these people are not in their ego, you know, they live that simple life. Kind of like how I brought up how a cat could be God, you know what I'm saying? A cat get taken care of, they do as they please. And I thought about that, I'm like, you know, most autistic people with Down syndrome, you know, whatever the case may be, they got somebody like a caretaker, so they don't really have to do much, you know what I'm saying? All they have to do is just be, you know, for the most part. And I thought about that, I'm like, you know, as an alien, and I put myself in a, you know, in a mind frame of a extraterrestrial, or I put myself in the shoes of myself, of my vibrational being. I was like, all right, I could see how, you know, you could come back and just like exist on that level, especially dealing with autism and stuff like that, because it's like, who needs to socialize on that level, you know what I'm saying? It's about being, it's about, you know what I'm saying, letting things flow. You know, and matter of fact, and on the autism level, you know, most of people with autism, matter of fact, normally too would be star seeds, rainbows, crystals, in some cases indigos, but you know, like they all have a particular heightened skill set, a skill set where they are amazingly unhuman, like they surpass humanity at, like say for instance, playing the piano without having to read music in their life or things of this nature, you know what I'm saying, where they just be super skilled at certain things, like with a superhuman ability. So when you think about it, it's easy to see the connection of, you know, like, well, all right, these could be some higher beings, you know, or like people that's, you know, mentally slow, whatever. It's like they exist on more than one dimension. So of course they're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, they don't care about what you think on a social level. They so advanced, your little idea of what's socially accepted and what's not. You know, this is a big ass universe, you know what I'm saying? An endless, eternal, infinite, you know what I'm saying, universe with beings all over the place. Man, nobody got time to be worrying about a human ego, you know what I'm saying? So I can see how some of those beings, you know, come back as, like I say, autistic, Down syndrome, mentally slow, all these terminology, you know what I'm saying? It's funny because I'm trying to find good terminologies, but on that note, if any of those terminologies offend you, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find a way to express it. Because matter of fact, it's almost like how dealing with the gay community is like, oh, we not gay, we not homosexual. Like, damn, like, all right, now it's almost like I can't even talk about it. You know, it's almost like you stopping me and, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on now, I gotta use some type of word to say, you know, to explain this. But anyway, I was just thinking about that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and matter of fact, the movie is Dreamcatcher. It's a good movie. Matter of fact, somewhat of like a spiritual, esoteric movie in the sense of like, again, spoiler alert, but it deals with the aliens the evil aliens that come through. They're basically like parasites that get in your mind. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But peace, happy now. Now is the vibrate. Peace.